Hello and welcome to my tutorial for addition and subtraction one-step word problem. This is a practice that I put together for my second graders, and I just thought to wrap up this video for you to just give you a really quick guide about how to solve the problems. We are going to start with a Singapore bar. This is what I use mainly for solving word problems. Usually it will ask you a question. Write the question as a statement, use a diagram, justify your answer, and solve the problem. So when I use a drawing or a diagram, I always use Singapore bar or a number line, but this video is about Singapore bar. So I usually use with addition and subtraction whole part in Singapore bar. And with number sentence, I put this on anchor chart for my students just to give them an idea or just to give them the sense of how we solve addition and subtraction. So part plus part equal whole. If I have a whole, I take part, some of it, then another part will be left. So whole minus part equal part. So let's put this into a word problem to see how it look like. In this review, I made about 26 word problems, and it starts with four squares like this, just to give you an idea about how to solve it. And gradually, I take some parts off until it will be like this. So I want you to, if you're going to print it or if you're going to read the word problem, solve it in a journal or on a piece of paper, I want you to do the 4 steps by yourself eventually. So let's go back to the very first question. Ryan read 27 pages of his book on Wednesday. He read 35 pages of his book on Thursday. How many pages of his book did Ryan read on Wednesday and Thursday? So the first step it tells you here, write the question as a statement. The question says how many pages of his book did Ryan read on Wednesday and Thursday? So the statement will be Ryan read blank pages on Wednesday and Thursday. And a period. Simple and easy. The second one, which is most of my work with my students in class will be on, is write the numbers sentence and draw Singapore bar. So when I tell them, well, this is the time, we have to read it one more time to understand where to put the numbers. First thing, Ryan read 27 pages on Wednesday. So this is the very first part. I write 27. And then I read the rest again. He read 35 pages of his book on Thursday. I have another part here. So that would be 35 pages. I don't put the sign yet until I read the question. And the question says, I'll read it third time. How many pages of his book did Ryan read on Wednesday and Thursday? So when it says and, that means they need both of these days together, like Wednesday plus Thursday together, the total number of pages. That's what they need to find. So that means I don't have a whole. I need to find the whole. So this is where I put the plus sign. So now I did my number sentence, 27 plus 35 equal blank or question mark. Now I need to put this into Singapore bar. I always put this on anchor chart for them until they understand and memorize it, how it look like. And then I tell them, okay, where the whole goes, where the part goes. So as I understand now, there's no whole, it's unknown. So I put question mark at whole. And then I put 27 here and 35 here. In the previous diagram, you'll see here that these two equal parts. Now in this one, they are not equal parts because 27 is smaller in a number than 35. And I would want them to get that sense. I don't want them to have it two equal parts because I don't want them to mix it up with, another things. Eventually, when we go for word problems with multiplication and division, they have to be equal parts, but now I do not want them to do that. I want them to understand, not just to memorize. So anyway, now we did the Singapore bar. Now is the time to do the third step, which is solve the problem. When I first start word problems with my students, I put it in forms of the place value, ones, tens, and if there's hundreds, I put hundreds. And I always think to them, this is the place value, ones, tens, hundreds, and I always start with ones because I want them to know that we always start with ones when we add or subtract. So I sing the song for them just as a quick reminder, and as soon as I sing it, they sing it with me and they knew that we're going to start with ones. The second step when we solve the problem is this is like a regrouping one. So 7 plus 5 equal, then they will be saying 12. Or if they don't know, they'll be like 7 in my mind, 5 in my fingers, and then they start having 7, 8, 9, 10 until they count to 12. So I write 12 on the side here. And I tell them, do I put the 12 at the bottom or how I can do it? And then I tell them, look at the 12. In the 12, there's ones and there's tens. So I tell them ones goes down, tens goes up. So ones is a 2 from 12. And then there's 1 out of the tens. It's 1 10. So I put it up in the tens place. And then I add 1 and 2, 3, 3 and 3, 6. So the answer is 62. And then I tell them, well, this is the time that you need to write your final answer. And I tell them you have to write it in the different box just to make sure this is highlighted. And you can do a flower, you can do a cloud around it or circle, whatever it is, and then write pages. And then I tell them, is it 62 pencils, 62 books, 62 cupcakes? And then they shouted out 62 pages. And I was like, yeah, well done. So this is a very quick review for an addition. I will want to show you another one with a subtraction really quick. Melissa had 105 dolls. She gave 34 of these dolls to her sister. How many dolls does Melissa have now? So write a question as a statement. Melissa has blank dolls now. And then I read one more time the I need one more time the word problem to write my number sentence. So Melissa had 105 dolls. Okay, I'll just write 105. And then I read it again, the rest of it. She gave 34 of these dolls to her sister. When it says gave, does that mean I have more or I have less? And then they will shout like, no, if you gave some, then you don't have 105, you have less than 105. And then I tell them, okay, well, this is a minus. We put minus. Then I put the number 34 and then a blank. So if I have a minus, that means 105 is a whole, and then take a part and then go back again here. A whole minus part equal part. So that will be a whole filled up was 105 and then 34 and then a question mark. Third step is to solve the problem. 105 minus 34, and then 5 minus 4, I'll say like this is 1, and then I either tell them 10 minus 3. Some of them, they have the number cents, and they just say, oh, that's 7, or some of them, I tell them, okay, I cannot take 3 from 0, then if it's more on the floor, go next door, borrow 10 more. So that 1 will go down to 0, and then that will have a new 10 beside it, so 10 minus 3 equals 7, so that is 71. And then I tell them, again, you have to write your final answer in the fourth box and really quickly highlight it to make sure that it's not confused in the middle. So that's $71. This is really it for that review. And I will also ask some of my students after they practice, like addition and subtraction, there will be other time that they will need to do this. They will be given just a blank number sentence, and I want them to think about a story, write it down, write their question, and then solve it by themselves. So it says it's really simple, 20 plus 18 equal blank. I'll tell them like I have 20 pencils, my mom gave me 18 more, how many pencils I have now. So I just model it for them with a quick example, and then I tell them you do it yourself, use different objects. So they will be doing like erasers, rulers, books, chairs, anything really, anything they like, anything of their favorite toys, and then they write it down and then they solve it. And I really like this because it also makes them think about being more creative, and practicing that is also some sort of practice in writing as well. So it actually have two in one. Thank you so much for looking at my video, and I hope it will be beneficial to you. If you have any questions, please comment down below or send me an email. Thanks again. You take care and stay safe and healthy. Bye.